Hey there, everybody. It actually kind of feels like springtime out there this evening, doesn't it? It's a little bit moist out there, atmospheric-wise. A couple ingredients that are going to come together for a potential for some severe storms coming up for tomorrow. One of those would be the moisture that's coming in on the south side of this stalled front. We also have strong winds aloft up here, way up if you look at the atmosphere vertically. And you also have a little bit of shear. Put that all together and pretty much the ingredients you need for some severe weather. Tonight, though, not too bad out there. I will encourage you to look at your WTOC weather app because I just put a video in there that kind of explains all of this in about a minute. But, of course, if you have those questions, I'm here to answer them. So thank you guys for joining us here this evening, especially you guys Twitter and Facebook. You can always leave me a comment. Let me give you the idea of what's going on here. Best chance of severe weather on Sunday, that's going to be western Georgia into southern Alabama. You have friends, family over there, make sure they're weather aware for tomorrow. But notice we go into more of a slight risk. That's 2 out of 5 here on the convective outlook scale for most of the state of Georgia, creeping up into the Augusta area just along the Savannah River. And in the coastal empire, most of us are under that slight risk. Now, I want to give you a closer look now. So I gave you the big picture. This is closer here. Talking about Hilton Head, all of the low country for the most part here, sneaking up into Hampton County. Do have just a slightly better chance of having, say, a stronger storm come on through here. And I'm going to show you what that's going to look like on the future radar here momentarily. But timing-wise of this, I'm going to have that soon. But the big thing to note is that I do think that as these storms weaken, they're going to weaken as they come toward the coast, which of course is good news. You don't want strong storms for anybody. But the good news is that based on the timing of this, I do think that the more populated areas will have less of a risk for some of those stronger storms. And of course, we care about everybody here. I got a forecast for every which one of you out here this evening. Going to highlight the threats first. Heavy rain. We could have ½ inch to an inch of rainfall just on Sunday. Some of these are going to be quite heavy with those showers and gusty wind. This is going to be isolated. So yes, it's a threat. 60 mile an hour straight line wind gust not out of the question. Also could have some very small hail within some of these big updrafts, but that's going to be very isolated as well. Lightning, of course, you got thunderstorms, you got lightning. And then the tornado risk, it's low, but it's not zero. And I do think that if there was an isolated tornado tomorrow for our area, the better chance of that would definitely be in the area that's more likely or more so shaded in that yellow. Not saying it's going to happen, that's just where the better chance for that will be. So you've heard enough of me talk about what's going on tomorrow. How about you see it in action? So that's those are the threats. Now we're getting into the timing. And we're going to start off at 9 a.m. in the morning. Pretty typical, almost feeling like a spring-like day. Those morning temperatures, 9 o'clock, already in the mid-60s. A few isolated showers will be there. So if you're going to service in the morning, might want to have that umbrella on standby, but watch what happens here going into brunch time. Still isolated showers. That's going to be the name of the game for the first half of the game. Just isolated showers, not expecting anything severe during the beginning of the daytime. But transferring over into the afternoon, starting to heat up here, mid-70s for a lot of us. The beach is even close to 70 degrees. One of these isolated showers could get a little bit stronger at that point. But if you're looking here toward the top of the screen, that's going to be the big rainmaker that is coming our way. And it's going to be here in the afternoon going in the evening, depending on exactly where you live. So I know a lot of you probably asking, well, what about my town? What can you expect? Well, this could, vary by an hour or two, but this is the latest thinking of when this is going to come through here. So 6 o'clock Sunday, moving into our western communities here, talking about places like Dublin over to Swainsboro, Vidalia, Toombs County. You guys are going to get this first, and I think that it's going to be a little bit stronger over in that way because just left that peak daytime heating. You haven't lost that just yet, and that is included in that slight risk. Now let's fast forward about an hour or so after sunset. Still moving on through here, more so from the northwest to the southeast. This is entering the low country into our viewing area of the low country. Then Hampton County going into Jasper, not quite to Beaufort yet by 7:30. Statesboro, Bullock County, you guys getting in on this, closing in on Pembroke. And this is going to be after sunset. So I know a lot of you guys probably asking, well, I want to know exactly what time it's going to come here. And I really think that my advice to you is going to be make sure that you just stay weather aware for the late afternoon through the evening tomorrow. So if you have plans, try to get those done in the first half of the day if you have them specifically for Sunday evening. Now, what about as it gets closer to the coast? It is going to weaken just a little bit here. Now we're closing in on 9 o'clock. Looks like this line stretching from Coffee County all the way up through the low country. And again, this is not exactly what's going to happen. It's just the latest thinking on it. So don't look at this and be like, oh, 8:30 tomorrow, we're going to have rain. Could move up a little bit quicker, could slow down a little bit. And of course, we're going to be here to guide you through all this. And again, when we're back 8 to 10 o'clock, these showers and thunderstorms then have gone into that marginal risk. So it's a little bit less of a favorable environment for these storms to actually get strong to severe. So there's a little bit of good news. I know the reds, the oranges, they might look a little bit scary for people that have storm anxiety, but we're here to keep you guys calm, just tell you what's going to happen, not scare anybody out there at all. So 10 o'clock, notice the areas that already had the stronger portion of this line around 6 or so, already starting to dry out, some isolated showers there. Meanwhile, almost everybody else here, coastal empire, getting in on those showers and thunderstorms. Now, I think after midnight, the show's over for the most part. A lot of us going back to sleep. But I do also think that transferring into Monday morning, we will be seeing isolated showers once again for us. Now, you can see that lingering showers early on Monday, temperatures still in the 60s. We're not going to feel that cool down here right away. But by the time a lot of us getting up and at 'em there for Monday, notice here, mostly dry here, even some clearing back inland. So there's some good news. But again, time frame of this, inland about 5, 6 o'clock, along the coast about midnight. So it's going to take its time. It's kind of coming at a weird angle coming on down here. So that's why it's taken, say, 6, 7 hours to get across the area. That's the forecast right now, and if you have any specific questions, I'll be answering those right after the broadcast, hopping on the computer. I wanted to show you just what the computers are thinking. They're kind of all over the place right here with future rainfall totals as they trickle in here. I think that the RPM model is a little hot with this. If this really slowed down, stalled out, then sure, we could get that much rain. I think the safer bet in my forecast is for about ½ inch for most people, up to an inch, locally higher amounts, because of course with thunderstorms, you're going to have locally heavier rainfall within that, where you've got that little bit enhanced convection there. So rain is another side of this, and I think that's going to be the biggest threat. It's more of an inconvenience for people that are out there driving, traveling, maybe coming back from a weekend trip. But we've talked about this for a little while. It's going to take some time for the colder air to filter in here, but this is Wednesday morning, and it's going to be quite chilly out there. So this is back behind the front. Everything's done rain-wise. We're going to cool down here. Check this out. Wednesday morning, the actual temperature forecast here, just above freezing for Savannah. Beaches, I think you stay above freezing. But inland, really areas west of 95 have a good chance of at least getting down to 32 degrees briefly. I also think that the further north you are there off of I-16, the further inland you are, better chance of seeing some upper 20s as well. So we're not done with winter yet, and there's not going to be any moisture to coincide with this cold air. But what we're looking at there is going from spring-like weather on our Sunday to more winter feeling temperatures for the middle of the week. So here's the next week as a whole. Pretty confident in this forecast here. Late afternoon, early evening, those thunderstorms moving into the coastal empire, moving out after midnight, lingering showers Monday morning. That 60% is before sunrise, so don't be thrown off by that. But then looks like there's just a slight chance of rain coming up on Tuesday. Wednesday, chilly, highs only lower 50s. Then we're warming back up as we head into the weekend. And I told you it's not sticking around too long. Midweek cold, but how about lower 70s again on Saturday? So that's the forecast right now. If you guys missed any of this, of course, the video is live right now, but it's going to get posted and load up onto the WTOC Facebook page. If you have any questions in the comments, I'm going to be answering those here. Make sure you guys get those questions answered. And of course, you can always shoot me a message and follow me on Twitter and Facebook. Appreciate it. And have that WTOC weather app handy. We're going to be here to make sure you guys stay up to date on tomorrow's storms. Have a good rest of your Saturday, and we'll talk soon.